Kendrick was inspired by Disney when he made Meet the Grams. Roll the intro. Let's get into it. How's it going, y'all? It's Nix's here, and today I decided to put together a little theory because I was scrolling through a few days ago. I was at work, and a post came up on my feed from Chilling with Moni, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this right now. And this post in particular says, 1 year ago today, Kendrick Lamar and SZA kicked off the Grand National Stadium Tour in Minneapolis. And she goes on to document the statistics of that specific tour. But one picture in particular caught my eye, and that's this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and open this in a new tab, and we're going to look at this up close. Now what we have here is the stage with pyrotechnics. The entirety of the stage is cloaked in red, except for where Kendrick stands, right in the middle, in front of a pillar of light. Now, this got my brain, the brain juices going. Take my hand here. We're going on a journey. The fire in front, at the forefront, and in the back where Kendrick stands is smoke and a pillar of light. We're gonna jump to one of my old videos where I went on a little diatribe about why Meet the Grams in particular was so terrifying. The final verse of Meet the Grams is Drake's final judgment. That is Kendrick really looking at Drake as the boogeyman and being like, where does your soul lie? What decision will you make? You lied about your son, you lied about your daughter, you lied about them other kids that's out there hoping that you lied about the only artist that could offer you some help. You lied about your accents and your past tense, all it's perjury. And then just that haunting fucking chant in the background, you lied. It really feels like you are sitting at the throne of God and you are being judged. That's why it fills you with such a deep-rooted fear, because it's not just Drake that's listening to this, it's us. We feel like we're being judged in real time. We feel like there's just divine beings beyond our comprehension looking at us and being like, your life has led up to this moment. What decision will you make? How will you choose to pass on? That last line, and I'm just like, why did he do that? Because he was no longer talking to him as Kendrick Lamar. He was talking to him as the entirety of the culture, not just the West Coast, not just Compton, not just Tupac. In that moment, he was everybody. We were all collectively judge, jury, and executioner. And you're wondering why am I using this? We're gonna tie this to another video. Shout out to Sideways for this video. He came back after like a 4-year hiatus. I love this channel, by the way. This is a very in-depth music theory, music deep dive channel, and he really goes into some technicals here. But the reason why this video, I'm not playing the whole thing, but I wanted to center on a specific point, and I'm going to let it play from here. But anyways, subscribe to Sideways. Shout out to Sideways. I will put his channel in the description. If you want to learn some music theory and you want to learn some deep technical shit and how all of these scores and how music and movies is connected, please go and follow his channel. He's almost at 1 million subs. I really hope he gets there because S-tier content. I stopped it right here and we're gonna let this play.
Frollo abuses Quasi in the way that he perceives the church and the divine to be abusing him. Is the girl the witch who set this flame? So, elephant in the room. I know this film prominently features a racial slur. I'll mute it when I can, but it's super awkward and just not possible sometimes. But right here we see a similar shape to the motif that Frollo sings whenever he references Quasimodo. Just so he's kept locked away where no one else can see. Frollo believes that Esmeralda has somehow trapped him within the church's teachings, the same way that Frollo has trapped Quasimodo in the bell tower. To this end, the film is putting both of these characters in functionally the same place, with the same issue. They're both trapped, and they both need to figure out how to handle it. Once he resolves himself to his warped plan that he believes is 100% the proper way to handle it within the confines of the church, he returns to a similar structure as the prayer that began this whole episode, as if he's finally coming down back to reality. Maria, don't let the siren and cast her spell. And then this happens.
Minister Frollo, she has escaped. What? She's nowhere in the cathedral.
So this is really cool, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but it bears repeating. The light from the door over Frollo's shoulder and the anonymous soldier represent a kind of divine intervention. But more importantly to us, Frollo stops singing. In this brief moment, Frollo is visited by a divine agent and is giving him a choice that will set him free. Esmeralda lives and he can go on with no issue, but instead he chooses to commit to his plan. He dismisses the soldier and goes back to singing. It's kind of like getting unplugged from the Matrix and then forcing yourself back in. I mean, the big tip-off in the score that this is divine intervention is that you can hear the main theme while this is happening in a major key.
Minister Frollo.
So for him to be committing to singing about all this feels that much more earnest, that much more intense. In Frollo's twisted mind, this is a kind of love song, and he's so infatuated that even someone like him has to break out into song to try and process those feelings of longing. And what does he sing when he does go back into song? He repeats the main theme. Then, and I absolutely love this touch, we hear the Kyrie eleison, or God forgive me. God have mercy on her. This is the passage that plays whenever Frollo kills someone.
And don't you understand? When your heartless mother abandoned you as a child, I should have known you'd risk your life to save that gypsy witch. Just as your own mother died trying to save you.
In Frollo's mind, he's already committed Esmeralda to her fate. And poetically, to mirror this in the music, he finishes the song with oblique motion, a lot of repetition on the same note. He's not moving, he's not budging an inch.
Now, follow me here. We're going to tie these together. Meet the Grahams is Drake's final judgment. The one last chance for Drake to repent for his actions. But at the same time, like in the video, Kendrick already knows that Drake is not going to budge from his conviction. His commitments and his doctrines and his dogma of how he goes about life is already ironclad, and he's not budging. And so Kendrick goes through this entire song knowing ultimately that his fate is already sealed. But in order to get there, he has to peel back the layers piece by piece by piece. Judge Claude Frollo, in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, it is evident that his soul is already lost because he is so narcissistic. He is so caught up in himself. The very first words of his song is, "Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue, I am justly proud." Pride. He is exhibiting exorbitant amounts of pride. Try saying that 5 times fast. He is showcasing pride in its most pure and unadulterated and vile form. And I went into an entire diatribe on a previous recording of this that I eventually scrapped. But in Hellfire, Frollo displays every single cardinal sin that is described in the scripture. Every single one. Pride, lust, envy, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath. He displays every single last one of these sins in one song. The plot of the song. He wants this girl. That's literally it. He wants unlimited personal access to Esmeralda's OnlyFans page, and if she doesn't give him access, he's gonna burn down all of Paris. And in the middle of the song, he is stopped by a random soldier who tells him that Esmeralda has escaped. And if you remember, right here, the soldier is obscured by the light that's coming from the tall doorway behind him. When it pans back to Frollo, the fire is still raging behind him. He, at that moment, is now stuck between his last chance of salvation and the eternal flames of hell. But you notice, in the positioning, look at the perspective of that room. That door is very far away. But you notice that Frollo is right in front of the raging fire. Due to the sheer positioning of the characters in this one shot, it is already telling us that Frollo's fate is sealed. He is much closer to the eternal flames than he is towards the bright light of salvation. And so when he ultimately turns the soldier away, the door shuts, and then all of a sudden, the room turns red. Dark shadows begin melting up the walls. The chants of the Catholic prayer are now loud. The reverb is just off the wall. It sounds haunting. It sounds ghostly, as Frollo has now sealed his own fate without even realizing it. But he's so wrapped up in his own internalized religious ideal of what he thinks righteousness is. By doing this, Frollo has effectively closed off his one chance at salvation, just like when Drake decided to cross that one line that Kendrick told him not to cross in all of his diss tracks. That was Drake effectively closing off his one chance at redemption, which is why the second half of Meet the Grahams sounds so goddamn terrifying. That choice has been made. Kendrick was the soldier standing in the doorway, and Drake turned him away. And so that's why when Meet the Grahams progresses and those voices start building up that you lied, you lied, you lied, you lied, it is so haunting. Because Drake's already chosen his fate. He is already damned. And the souls of the dead and the devil are effectively coming to collect their due. This picture, you've got Kendrick as a figure fully obscured in shadow, while a giant pillar of light beams behind him. And what do you see here in the front? Fire. Flames. The entirety of the stage cloaked in the exact same color as in this shot. Everything is red except for the pillar of light. I don't know why my brain connected these like that, but I just wanted to walk you guys through my thought process and gather my sources together, because I was kind of fleeting inspiration wise, but you know what? Going back to formula every now and then is not a bad thing. I'd like to consider that I'm good at what I do. I don't want to be boastful or anything, but you know, when my mind connects these things, I want people to be able to see it as I see it. You know, I want to be able to walk them down that path and show them how I got there. Show them how I approached this conclusion. And I think that's very important. I just wanted to walk you guys through my thought process and effectively throw out the theory that Meet the Grahams was inspired by Disney's Hellfire from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. When you look at it side by side, the comparisons are too much to be mere coincidence. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have anything you want to add on? Do you have any little fun facts that you want to add on? Put your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, I have been Nixus, and I will catch y'all in the next video. See ya.
I want to give a special thank you to my members, Prosac Ward, Tasha Shea, and Missy Gale Forever. If you guys want to see your names up here, go ahead and subscribe and become a member. I will put your name at the end of every video, and I will give you guys a special shout out. Take care.